Welcome to the channel. Today we got a couple of Chevy Novas in the shop, so stay tuned. We've got the blue one already up on the lift. Now this is a 73 Yenko clone. We've got the wheels off of it. We're going to be checking the brake pads, all the basic maintenance stuff. We'll check all the fluids, and we're going to be changing the oil on this one. This is our 67 Chevy II Nova. We'll be getting this thing up on the lift when we're done with the blue one, doing some basic maintenance on this one also. Pull the wheels off, check the brakes, check all the fluids, maybe even do an oil change on this one also. Let me give you the rundown of this blue Chevy Nova. It's got a big block Chevy engine, it's got a Muncie 4-speed transmission, and a Ford 9-inch rear end. Let's climb under this thing and have a look. Alright, so I think we're going to start off by go ahead and changing the oil. We're going to pull this drain plug out. We got us a drain bucket over here. Get that oil filter pulled off and get all this old oil changed. Looks like we got an oil leak down here. Might need to figure out what that is, but let's get this oil changed. Would you say that oil leak, that corrosion protection?
Yep. Keep stuff from rusting.
While we're under here letting this drain, we're going to go ahead and just kind of give it a visual inspection. Look it over. This thing's got a safety bell housing on it. That's pretty cool. That way if the clutch explodes, it won't tear your feet off. And I did not know that these headers were coated because they're so rusty up top. We need to pull these off and probably have those recoated. You ready to pull that filter?
Yep. That ain't gonna work.
These K&N filters have a little nut on the bottom. And he just tried to take it off and it's just spinning, so either that filter's on really tight or he didn't have the exact right size, but I think he did. So we're going to try to grab a wrench, a filter wrench, see if we can get this thing off. Alright, so we got this filter off. You can see we had to squeeze the fool out of this thing to get it off. It was way too tight. Never should put an oil filter on that tight. But we got this thing off. Let's get the new one put back on. So whenever you're putting these plugs back in, you don't have to tighten them very tight. Just kind of snug it up just to make sure it's not leaking. We also like to fill the oil filters up with oil. That way there's less time for the engine to be dry when you first start it up. You also want to take some oil and spread it around that gasket. Another good thing to do is inspect the old filter. Make sure it has the gasket on it, because I have seen them where the gasket will stay on the car. And then you'll double up the gasket up here. If you double up that gasket, it's for sure going to leak. Same thing applies to when you're tightening up this oil filter. You don't want to tighten it too tight, just kind of snug it up. It'll mushroom out that little O-ring at the top and it'll cause it to leak. And plus it makes it really hard to get off for the next guy, which is probably going to be me. So just snug this thing up. That's all you need.
One finger won't fit in there.
Yeah, so basically we pull out this little sight plug. When you fill up the fluid on a 9-inch rear end, you pump fluid in there, rear end dope, until it starts to flow a little bit more. So the way you can check it is just put your finger in there, and if you get fluid and it looks pretty clean, if you get fluid on your finger right at that edge, then it's full. Alright, so here's the fill plug and the level plug for the transmission. We're going to pull that out, check that out, and make sure that's clean and make sure that it's full also. Same process, just kind of stick your pinky in there and check the level. You can kind of look at the oil, see if it's clean or not. So this one looks good. Also, while we're down here, there's a lot of grease fittings. We're going to go ahead and get the grease gun out, hit all these grease fittings, and give them a pump of grease in there. We've also got some grease fittings on some universal joints. Alright, so now we've got it at a reasonable height. We pull these drums off on drum brakes, and these are what they call the shoes. They're shoes on a drum car and they're pads on a disc car. So these look pretty good. You always also want to check the inside of the drum. Kind of rub your finger across it to see if there's any grooves, which this one feels good. So I think their brakes are good on the back. And in the front, we got discs on this car. So the front's a little bit easier to inspect. You can look inside this hole here. You can see how thick the pad is. On this side, these pads have a lot of meat left on them, so yeah. I think we're good on the brakes. Alright, since the brakes look good, we can go ahead and put the wheels and tires back on this car and get it on the ground. Alright, so whenever you're tightening up the lug nuts on a 5-lug vehicle, you kind of want to go in a star pattern. And basically what you're doing is when you snug this one up, snug this one up, snug this one up, and then this one, and then this one, you're torquing it down evenly. And always put a torque wrench on your lug nuts and make sure they're at the right torque. I know we didn't do that, but I'm going to tell you like my mama always told me, do as I say do, not as I do. One thing you want to do right after you change your oil, when the first time you start this thing up, you want to keep an eye on that oil pressure gauge and make sure this thing builds oil pressure. Alright, so he's snugging up all the bolts on the valve cover. Got a little bit of a leakage there, and it's either the bolts are a little bit loose or the gasket's gone, so we're going to snug them up just to make sure. We're also going to pull the cap off that brake fluid reservoir there and check the brake fluid level. That back one low?
A little bit.
Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of fluid to this thing. Alright, so I think we got everything buttoned up. We're going to get this hood closed, take this thing down the road, and see if we left anything loose. took this thing around the block. All the temperature looks good, oil pressure looks good, nothing fell off the car. So we need to stir this oil up. Something we like to do after we change the oil. And the best way to stir up the oil is to do a nice smoky burnout. Looks like that thing might be a one-wheel wonder. Caught second right there. Now it's time to work on this Chevy II. Let's get it up on the lift. Alright, so we've got this thing up on the lift. We'll go ahead and get these little center caps off, get these wheels off, and do a brake inspection. Alright, so these shoes look pretty good. Go check the other one, then we'll check the front ones. Alright, the front ones, you can see how thick the outside pad is, and if you want to see the inside pad, you just look at this little hole here. This car doesn't get driven very much. There's a lot of cobwebs in here. But the pads look good, so I think we're good on the pads and brake pads and the shoes on this car also. Alright, so the brakes checked out on this thing. We're going to raise it up a little more and do an inspection on the bottom and start checking some fluids. Alright, so let's give this thing a visual inspection. Alright, so this thing has a 10-bolt rear end, and the way you can tell if it's a 10-bolt rear end, it's got 10 bolts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a 10-bolt rear end. Now I think they make two different 10 bolts. One's are more desirable than the other one, but I have no idea which one this one is. Leave a comment in the comment section if you know if this is a good 10-bolt or a bad 10-bolt. Looks like an old 60s model car.
I'm liking no rust.
Yeah, some good signs with not seeing any rust. Huh. Got a big old dent in the oil pan though. Dang it. That thing takes a quart less of oil. We need to buy an oil pan for this thing. So let's, instead of doing an oil change on this, let's go ahead and order an oil pan. And we'll do the oil change when we change out that oil pan. God, that header gets really close to the oil pan here. Man, these tolerances on these headers, man, it's sitting right up against everything. It's actually touching the starter. Wow. Alright, so we've got some grease fittings down here. We're going to grease this car up also. We're going to hold off on the oil change till we get the new oil pan. It looks like it's been changed pretty recently anyways. That's a pretty new looking filter. Overall, it's not bad under here. Automatic transmission, so we got a dipstick on the top to check the fluid. Can check this rear end on this side. Pull that plug out, check the rear end dope. Alright, so the visual inspection so far pretty good, except for a big old dent in the oil pan. So we'll find all the grease fittings on the bottom of this car, get this thing greased up, and check the fluids in the rear end, and the transmission has a dipstick, so we'll check that from the top. And that'll be all we have to do from the bottom, so let's get started on that now. Next up, we're going to check this 10-bolt rear end fluid level. You can see the pinion gear in this one.
Yeah, I'm putting
Alright, so I think we're done with the bottom side of this Chevy II. So let's get the wheels and tires put back on it so we can get this thing off the lift and do a test burnout. I mean, test drive. You always want to check the automatic transmission fluid with the transmission warmed up, car sitting on level ground, and it idling. Alright, so we've got all the fluid levels checked. We've got this thing greased up. The brakes have been checked. So let's take this thing around the block and see if anything falls off. I know we didn't do an oil change on this car, but we went ahead and took it around the block to check it out, make sure everything's working right, and never pass up the opportunity to do a smoky burnout. So we're going to do a burnout with this thing and see how well it works.
As the old saying goes, don't fix it if it's not broke. I usually don't have that problem because I'm real good at breaking stuff.
Alright, so that's going to be about it for this video. Something a little bit different for you guys, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this type of content. And if this is the first time you're ever seeing me, consider subscribing and clicking on the bell icon. That way you won't miss any future content. And as always, I truly appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya!